Hi, my name's Joey. I'm an organizer here at WPA, and today we're going to talk about the Union Executive Board. So our executive board consists of 13 different positions: a president, a recorder, a secretary-treasurer, and a vice president for each of our 10 districts. So the positions are all elected positions with 3-year terms. And that means that anyone inside of our membership can campaign and be elected to these positions. And so the first position that I wanted to talk about today is the president. So the president is a full-time position. It is currently compensated at $90,000 per year, and it is responsible for a lot of things. So you're going to see that the other positions that I'm going to talk about are all in supporting roles to the president because the president has the majority of the responsibilities, and that's kind of a lot for one person. So just take that with a grain of salt. So the president's responsible for the hiring and management of all union-funded positions. So like we've talked about before, when you need to get a representative that is immune from retaliation, we need to have every union member pool their money together to fund someone's position. But then we need someone to perform that hiring process and to go through the day-to-day management of that worker inside of the union. And that is what the president is for the hiring and the management of all union-funded positions. In addition to that, they serve as the chair of the executive board meetings. These executive board meetings are where our entire executive board, president, recorder, secretary, treasurer, and all vice presidents in the districts all get together to have their meetings, and the president serves as the chair to facilitate those meetings. The president also decides which grievances to take to arbitration. Whenever we have a grievance that moves up to the final step, which is arbitration, which is kind of like court, there is a cost to that. We have to pay arbitration fees. And because the president is the primary person that says yes or no on spending member money, then they get to decide, the president does, which grievances to take to arbitration. And like I just said, the other thing the president gets to do is distribute all union funds. So any monetary amount that's going to come out of the union that members had to pay into, the president's the person that gets the final stamp to say yes or no. In addition to that, the president has to abide by all the other duties outlined in our bylaws and our international constitution. And there are a lot more duties that go along with the president. The last thing that the president does is they serve as one of 3 trustees. Now, these 3 trustees are responsible for ensuring that all finances of the local union are managed in accordance with, again, our international constitution and our bylaws. And these trustees, what they do is they create a budget for the executive board to approve. And once that budget is approved, the president is the person that then gets to distribute the union funds in accordance with the budget. So the president is one of those 3 trustees. And the next position that I wanted to talk about is the secretary-treasurer. The secretary-treasurer is a part-time position. They're currently compensated at $8,400 per year. And they are responsible for just generally assisting the president with any duties that they don't have the bandwidth for. Something common would be, and there's kind of 2 roles here. There's secretary and treasurer. So one of the secretary duties would be like we have a physical office, and it has an alarm system. Sometimes the alarm goes off at random times. So that might be something the president says like, hey, can you handle that part? Can I put you in charge of the alarm system? Things like that. One of the other things that the secretary-treasurer does is they serve as the second of those 3 trustees. And the final thing that the secretary-treasurer does is they serve as the president in the case of a vacancy in the seat of the president. So secretary-treasurer, they help the president, they are one of the trustees, and they are the backup in case we have a vacancy in the president's seat. The next position I want to talk about is the recorder. So the recorder is another part-time position. It is currently compensated at $150 per regular 8-hour meeting and $125 per meeting that is less than 8 hours. A normal board meeting is scheduled for 8 hours. And the recorder is only responsible for recording electronic meeting minutes of all executive board meetings. That way we have information on what was discussed and what was arrived at, so that way the membership can always review what was decided in these board meetings if they don't have a chance to attend. And so we can see like historical documentation on what was said and what the intent was. So the next collection of positions that I wanted to talk about are the district vice presidents. So we have 10 of these, like I said. They are separated by county generally. They are part-time positions. They are currently compensated at $50 per regular 8-hour meeting and $25 for a shorter meeting. And an example of a common shorter meeting for a district VP would be like a district meeting. Those are usually like an hour. The district vice president is responsible, same thing as the secretary treasurer, assisting the president with their duties. Because the president is responsible for deciding which grievances to take to arbitration, the president's probably not going to have a great knowledge on the individual specificities inside of each bargaining unit. And that's one of the things that the district vice presidents can really help with, is they're the voice for those particular members from that district. Another thing that they do is the district vice presidents, they annually designate the third trustee from within the current vice presidents. So every year, the vice presidents select one from amongst their ranks that will be the third trustee. In addition to that, the district vice presidents get to vote on setting union policies. And at least in 2024, we don't really have any union policies. I think that we do have one for travel for reps, but that's about it. So this is a place to where if you feel like something should be done in a specific way, reach out to your district vice president and try to get them to set a policy. And the final thing that district vice presidents are responsible for, and I kind of touched on this a few moments ago, and that's member advocacy. So the district vice presidents, the primary responsibility of their positions is to provide context to the president so that we can make good decisions with union funds. If we need to hire an additional staff representative, or we need to move staff representatives around, like that's how you do it. If the president doesn't make the decision independently on their own, then they need the district vice presidents to give them context and help them to make good decisions. And that's kind of it for our executive board. We've got the president, we've got the secretary treasurer, the recorder, and the 10 district vice presidents. If at any point in time you feel like you don't like the direction the union is going in, or you feel like the union should be standardizing something, write to your district vice president, go to a district meeting, or whenever we have an election season, which would be 2026, I believe is the next one, campaign for office. Currently, I'm recording this in March, and I believe we have 2 vacant district seats right now. So if you're interested, reach out to us and let us know. And again, if you ever have any questions, or you like this training and you wanted maybe a different training or something else that you want me to highlight, my name's Joey. I'm an organizer here at WPA. You can reach me at joey@wpa.org. I'm glad to make a training of whatever you'd like. And if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them my way. So thanks for sticking around, everybody, and have a great day. Bye.